Hello everyone, it's Monika here and welcome to my channel. Today I'm coming to you with a magazine commission for Creative Stamping Magazine issue 163, and this time I got to work with shadow stamping techniques. Basically I've been given a color palette and just a brief to use shadow stamping techniques using my own stash. And I really, at first, I was, to be honest, struggling a little bit, and I thought this is not something I really enjoyed making two first projects. But then after trying it more, trying different products and stuff, I actually love it. And you can see my two favorite projects. These are my two last out of the 5 I've done, and these are my favorite and I'm really proud of them. Maybe you will see, maybe you're going to see the ones maybe I didn't do as well, or maybe because I'm a little bit fussy. I love like this one is very simple, beautiful lines, and not that messy. But when you use shadow stamping techniques with embossing folders, they are not as neat, and this is, I think, the key word which I was struggling with creating those projects, that it wasn't as neat as I'm used to. So let me show you the first two projects I did struggle a little bit, and it's this one and the arch one. So basically I at first, and I think that was my mistake, that I went for heat embossing and shadow stamping together, and this one didn't actually, to me it doesn't look neat, and that's why I don't like it as much. But the brief said that I need to do stamping and on some of the projects heat embossing as well. So that's what I did first, and I think that was my biggest mistake, because I just didn't enjoy it as much. So basically depending on what kind of heat embossing powders you use, some of them are having those bits and pieces. Like, let me bring this one so I can show you, and you can see on this swatch that it has this texture and different bits and pieces. And this one is from the latest collection by Wow, inspired by Brennan Keane, and this one is called Buttercup Blossom. And I think this one SO, if I remember correctly, I know because Katarina, she is designer for Wow. She's in a design team, and I think she said semi-opaque, or I don't know, there are those codes on some of them. There are different ones, like this one has O, and it means different. Like this one is very rough, this one is nice and smooth. So anyway, I still need to learn a bit more about it. So basically I use this embossing powder, and I offset. At first I stamped it in black, and I used mostly this one. I love VersaFine Clay. It's very nice and crisp image, so I love that one. And then I offset the stamp a little bit to create the shadow, and I use that and this embossing powder, and I really liked it. But then the more I looked at it, I could see the imperfections, which I don't maybe like so much. And I'm trying to explain you how I feel about this, but maybe I know, but that I showed it to Katarina, and she said, no, it's really pretty, I like it. But I don't know, I'm not sure, still not sure. But anyway, what I did that shadow stamping. I ink blended with some pink, and I did some I used magicals, and I used this one. This is Magical Powders by Lindy's Stamp Gang. I had it in my stash. I've got, I think, 4 sets of those. Long time. This is very old collection, and maybe you can't even buy it anymore. I'm not sure, but I used that together with some of those pixie powders by Cosmic Shimmer. So I try to create nice background, and I really love the background. So I don't know why I don't really like the heat embossing, but yeah, I think this one is not too bad. It's just this one. It's again the shadow stamping. The shadow is in black. Again, it's a very fine color, and because the embossing powder, it's quite rough. It's this one, pink sapphire, and again it has those speckles and everything. Is it this one, or maybe it's this one? I can't remember now. I think it's the pink tutu. So I have to remember to adjust the instructions and put pink tutu. And this one, I kept adding and adding, and I don't know, the lines are kind of blending together with the leaves. And let me show you which stamp set I use for this one. Is this one by C6. So I use 66 and 49 in marker. So I use this flower and that leaf together. To be honest, it's a bit challenging to do that technique if you want to use embossing powders, but I've done it just to show that if someone likes this type of thing, you can do it. And if from a distance it looks fine, but to me, I don't know, not too neat, I must say. But if you're going for this type of look, yes, just go for it and try. And I think it's nice to try different things. And I've done the ink blending background and some stenciling. Let me just show you which stencil I use. I use the one from C6. This one is actually C6 and designed by Vicky Booting for C6. And I use this one. There are 4 different ones in this set. So this is the card I did, and I have to admit I did struggle with this one a lot. I was about to just create another one, and I was thinking, no, I can't send this one. Maybe because I don't really like it that much, which doesn't happen very often. But I checked with Katarina. She said, no, it's fine. It's just following the brief. So just send it off, because I had to use heat embossing. And I think, yes, it's good to show. Then I think the third card was this one. Again, I had to create a circle card. And this time I actually stamped the sentiment. Let me show you. I actually used, I think, 2 stamps from the C6 stamp set, and I used this one. So firstly I stamped it in black, and then I just covered this part of this stamp with some low tack tape, and offset it a little bit to the right this time, and I use gold embossing powder. Gold embossing powder looks fine. And you need to, with this technique, you need to make sure that you use anti-static powder, because otherwise you will have to spend quite some time to brush off the excess, because this powder goes everywhere. And I did stamp the sentiment first, and then I dried it and let it sit for good an hour, and still the powder went into places which I didn't want the powder to go into. And then I did use another stencil from another set by C6. I think, let me see which one is this. It's this one. Again, another set of stencils designed by Vicky for C6. And I also used the hearts on a different, the last project. So I really like this one. And I think when I was making this third card, I was thinking, yes, I think I can do it, because as I said, this is the first time I struggled with a commission, and I was about to give up, but I couldn't, obviously. So this is the 4th card, and I used the hexagonal nesting dies, and I just matched it with white, pink, and that holographic card. And I used this beautiful flowers from, it's something I used in a previous commission. I think that was for creative, no, Simply Cards and Papercraft. It's this set by Hero Arts. It's a beautiful collection, and it has those beautiful flowers. This one and that one, I think. Yes, those 2. And I just use the inks which I use are from 49 in market. It's the pineapple. Love those two colors and dough face. I think those colors are really pretty. Loved using them. So this is what I use, and the sentiment is from that physics stamp set. Positivity is a choice. I love this card. I think it's beautiful, and I might do another one as a step-by-step tutorial just to keep it for myself and have it in my stash if ever I want to send some happy mail to someone. I think it's really cute. Love the color combo. I think it's nice. I hope you will like it as well. So the last card I created is this one, and by the time I was creating the fifth and last card, I just love this technique because this time I didn't do any heat embossing, only on the background, but it doesn't matter. I just use this Versa Magic. It's a chalk ink pad in this beautiful kind of like a, it looks blue, but it's kind of grayish. But I think the technique looks so much better when you use chalk ink pad together with this black VersaFine Clair. And yes, I love this card a lot because it has beautiful colors, and it has that bluish turquoise cardstock with the yellow, and then I stamped this flowers from Sizzix collection. Can't remember. I think I put that one away, and I used let me see which not this one, I think it's this one. I used this beautiful embossing powder on those butterflies just to create something different, like a detailed background. And then I used the hexagonal nesting dies to do mats and layers, and then I cut the top, it was white, and I used that stencil again with the hearts from this set designed by Vicky, and I really like it. And then I used the Peanuts collection to create that to stamp this sentiment and stamp this image, and I colored it with my pencils. The only thing I added is that gold sticker in the center, and I think it's really nice. Love this one. I think this one is my favorite. I forgot to mention that I used that doll face together with the black. You can see that this time I moved the stamp to the left, and I stamped it with black again with that using that VersaFine Clair. So these are my 5 cards. Let me know if you ever use this shadow stamping technique, and do you have that? Maybe you already have that creative stamping magazine issue 163. Let me know about this technique. Have you ever tried it? If you did, how do you find it? Do you think it's a challenging technique, or do you actually love it? Have you ever tried this technique with heat embossing, or maybe creating your own backgrounds, or just for you to use with sentiments? And if you've got your favorite card, let me know which one is it. I always look forward to read your comments, and I love your comments always. So thank you so much for watching, for your subscription, for giving this video maybe a hype and a comment. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video very soon. Bye for now.